Hey there guys, it's Gamer TV here, Daniel, and I'm here to review DMC, Devil May Cry. So I'm going to give you my likes, dislikes, and overall feelings of the game. So my likes would be the art design. I really thought that graphically the game looked really great, and the different levels it took you to, like the different level designs, was pretty unique. There's this one level that's kind of like a club, and then I don't want to spoil anything, but there's like that boss battle is awesome. And then there's this one level that's kind of like newscast thing, and then it's like this virtual internet YouTube type world, and oh my god, it was just, I was always at awe at the different types of landscapes and level designs. So that's one like. Another like would be the story. I thought the story in this one was particularly well written. A lot of people may not agree, but I'm going to ignore that. To me, I loved it. I thought it was more cohesive, more, not necessarily linear, but more coherent. It wasn't necessarily an origin story, but more of an introduction, but at the same time it doesn't delve too much into origin, so it doesn't make it too repetitive. So that's one thing I liked about the story. Now, leading into the story of my next like would be characters. So even though I love Lady and I love, you know, all the other characters of the old DMC, Devil May Cry, I really liked Kat in this. She felt very vulnerable, very real. You know, I just really loved her character. And Virgil was done so well in this, even his character design. Just with the, you know, the top fedora type hat, with the cane, very prissy acting, very, you know, I am number one, you know, and his relationship with Kat. I just really like the characters in this one. And there's one character I really liked, but that goes more into my dislikes. Another like would be the boss battles. The boss battles in this game are epic. All the boss battles, I really enjoyed myself swinging around, you know, having to do these combos, and oh my god. Which leads into my next thing. Gameplay. The mechanics in this one, I felt so amazed. I felt like it flowed well together. Because in the old DMCs, when, don't worry, at the end of this review, I'm going to give you my past review type of, you know, Devil May Cry and what I thought of the old series. Okay. I thought the combat was just, it flowed so well together. And I saw myself using both Angel and Demon. And just, oh, even though in the original I did like the Devil Trigger, this one, even without the Devil Trigger, it's awesome. It's just all these air combos, and it just flowed really well together, and it's just amazing. So I'm gonna go into my dislikes. So my very first dislike would be, and I hate it so much, because this game, which I'll give you my overall score and overall feelings of it, it could have been way higher. But if it wasn't for this, it would go a little bit low. And I have to tell this to the developer Ninja Theory. I love their games, but what causes their games from being up here, knocking them like -5 points, believe it or not, and I have to say that because it doesn't destroy the game, because I still love them, but it does falter them, and that is with Ninja Theory. Their games are glitchy as fuck, and I've played them in like my brother's PS3, my friend's PS. They're glitchy no matter what. Enslaved was glitchy, and it's just the music gives out at certain points, or it'll like stutter, and it's like every 10 to 15 minutes, so you really don't get a break of it, and that's just my #1 complaint about it. And it's like, it feels like they're not used to the engine. And I just don't know. Ninja Theory needs to like get on that. Like, to have developers, I guess, help them, I don't know, just to fix their glitchiness. Like, oh. Okay, my other dislike would be, which is not really a dislike, but I wanted more. I felt like it was short, even though it wasn't that short, and the DLC added so much more, which I love too. But I guess towards later on in the game, the levels get more, psychotic and more cool. That, the first half is a kind of like, simple. So when you finally get to that creativeness in the later half of the game, I felt as though, dang it, they missed an opportunity. Like, I wish they would have made more level designs, even though I know what they're capable of. So it's still skyrocketed. Another thing would be that they developed one guy, but I'm guessing they're leaving him for sequels, maybe. It's the blind guy. I do not remember his name. It's the blind guy you meet in one of the middle levels in Purgatory or whatever, that was Dante's father's, friend or whatever, that helped him escape Purgatory and stuff like that. He's a demon too, and he's kind of like, oh, everything's subjective, what could be one demon could be angel, He was very, very, like, I wanted him to be elaborated. So those are pretty much my dislikes. Ninja Theory, please fix your glitchiness. Now, my overall score would be 4.5 out of 5, a B+, out of the grading scale, and then, yeah, that. I really, really loved this game. I enjoyed it. I did all the little missions. I did the DLC was awesome too. Virgil's Chronicles of Virgil or whatever. Just this game was really, really fun and time well spent. It was just a breath of fresh air that I guess I needed from the series. So this is where I'm going to go now into my history with Devil May Cry. So me, I did play the originals, all of them. As I was a kid, I guess, I didn't like them at first, because I thought it was rather too difficult. Believe it or not, because I think the series came out when I was ending middle school, beginning of high school, I felt as though it was too hard for me, and I couldn't even pass the spider boss in the first game. But regardless of that, I went back into the series, and I finally beat that spider or whatever, and I'm like, okay, because I gained experience as a gamer, and started, I don't know, for some reason it was just hard at that point or whatever, but it is hard till this day, because there's some people that still find it difficult. But I finally got it. It became easy to me. It became second nature. So the second game was a huge disappointment. I hated it. I thought it was bland, boring, and I felt like I wasted money just in that second part. Because, I remember I traded them all in, because I wasn't a huge fan. What I was a fan of, believe it or not, was the anime. The anime that released, the Devil May Cry anime, I was a huge fan of that one. That's what made me love Dante, and love the whole cast and stuff like that. It was just really awesome. And then the third game made me love it even more, because the third game I felt balanced. The fourth game was pretty okay. I liked it too. But yeah. So basically, fans were backlashing or whatever. But I understand that some series need to be remade and stuff like that. And to be honest, this Devil May Cry, this story, made me a fan immediately. Like, this Devil May Cry is amazing. That amazing that, I want to get into comics, because I have them already. The Virgil comics. And it's just, I don't know what to say. This one made me a fan. I could appreciate where it came from, the older style and stuff like that, but this one, just the context of the story and how it deals with society and media, which people could say it's been overdone, but it hasn't. I haven't seen it as much, predominant in other games, stuff like that. But at least for this one, the DMC did it perfectly. I became a fan. So that's why I'm thinking I'm loving this new series, and I love the dialogue. There's a bunch of lines I could quote. And I just love Kat. I go all fangirl for Kat and Dante, and then I have this like soft spot for Virgil. Then it's like, oh my god, I'll go with you. We'll rule the world together. Fuck everyone. But yeah, Virgil is just really cool. I love the sex appeal a lot in this one. Even though the older one had sex appeal too, but this one has more of a snarkiness to it. And I love this Dante more because he learns from it, and you know he's way younger. So, you know, he'll grow up more adult into that Dante we know from the original, because I love that one too. But it's good to have two dimensions and two parallel universes. Come on, there's 7,000 types of Batmans, there's 7,000 types of Supermans. You know, let's get a new Devil May Cry. We always have the original games that we can enjoy as well, and we can have this new series, which hopefully gets a sequel. Oh my god, if it doesn't get a sequel, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be like, it's this one little treasure that never got to live more. Because with Capcom's reports that Resident Evil 6 and this game were a failure, it makes me so sad. But yeah, guys, overall, I freaking love this game, and maybe it'll make it to my top of 2013. I don't want to reveal that yet, because we still have a bunch of other games to play, and yep. And that'll be for much later on. But yeah, that's my review and thoughts on DMC Devil May Motherfucking Cry. But yes. Bye guys, Gamer TV out.